Our travels take us to Lassen Volcanic National Park, a park of extreme contrast, mixing tranquility and extraordinary beauty with a past and perhaps future of biblical levels of destruction. Within this visit, our hikes take us to several picturesque reflection pools, to an alpine lake, while also putting us in the path of a violent storm and one of the wildest drives home we have ever taken. But first, we must travel from central Idaho to the southernmost reaches of the Cascade Mountains in northern California.
California, here I come!
Our travels for this trip begin from lovely central Idaho, where we had a wonderful time hiking in the Sawtooth Mountains, and it ends in Hat Creek, California. This is a 2-day, 650-mile trek. We make a one-night stopover in Burns, Oregon, because we find a full hookup RV site that is roughly midway in our trip, and it is just off the highway, as well as the town being our namesake. We don't have time to explore after driving all day, but we do find that they have a very successful girls' softball program here. Day 2 of driving includes a planned stop at Chimney Rock, California, where we will gas up to complete our trip. While we always carry a 10-gallon jerry can with us, this is for an emergency. I wonder if anyone else has the same problems that we have with the GPS getting lost with this iPhone. I replaced it recently as my prior one no longer wanted to charge, but the GPS functionality in this new one is terrible and constantly gets lost. I'd be curious to hear if others have the same issue, and or if you've solved this problem and what you did to correct the issue. Experience has taught us to explore the roads ahead prior to taking off, as the GPS seems to opt out of working.
Are we going to have to restart this thing? It hadn't caught up yet.
Typically, this is the beginning, and then again, when we are only a short distance from our destination.
Recalculation. Follow the course of the road.
Now it's right, so I didn't get too lost.
Our goal is to find an easy pull-in gas station at approximately the 200-mile mark. Lucky for us, Chimney Rock is also about $0.50 a gallon cheaper. Our destination is the town of Old Station, which we can tell we are close now, as Mount Shasta is visible as we crest a small hill. It is another 30 miles or so to go before we get to Hat Creek RV Park. We chose this park because we plan to visit Lassen Volcanic National Park for several days, and they provide full hookups here. Being in a forest-like setting is a plus, but the preservation of trees makes the park layout difficult and the roads confusing. Pulling in, we had a very, and I emphasize very, difficult time getting into our spot. It was the closest we have ever come to damaging our house on wheels. Once set up, we work on the latest states we've traveled to in our RV and wander around the park before heading off to bed. The next day, the weather is great and we get an early start on the easy 10-mile drive to the park. We have wanted to visit Lassen for some time, but each time we consider it, there have been significant forest fires within the park and we have stayed away as a result. This time, there aren't any fires. Instead, the snow has been very heavy, and only a small section of the northern portion of the park is now open. I understand 400 inches of snow here is not uncommon. You really can't talk about this park without also mentioning Benjamin Franklin, or B.F. Loomis. It was his photos of the 1914-1915 eruptions of Lassen Peak that brought attention to the event, as it was the first eruption seen within his country, and it drove the campaign to preserve the area and establish Lassen Volcanic National Park.
Good. How are you?
I am well.
Awesome. All right, you guys, you know the road's only open 9 miles.
Yes.
The visitor center is open. It's a half-mile up on the right.
Very
It's the
good.
Loomis Museum.
Thank you very
Have
much.
a great time.
Now,
Okay.
beyond where it's closed, is it plowed and closed? I was wondering if you could ride a bike on
it.
it.
Yeah, you can ride a bike for an additional probably 4 miles.
Excellent.
Just use your side of the road in case there's snow equipment in there.
Is that what's going on?
For your safety, yeah.
Very good.
Have a good time.
Thank
you very much.
you.
You have a great day. Yep, she's got you.
Despite a very busy life, Mr. Loomis operated a store, hotel, freighting business, and lumber mill. His passion to promote interest in the park resulted in their purchasing 40 acres of land in the Manzanita Lake area. The following year, they completed construction of the museum, a memorial to their only daughter who had passed away in 1921.
Your destination is
The
on the
museum
right.
displayed their pictorial record of the 1914-15 eruptions at Lassen Peak. In addition to the museum, several other buildings were established, including one which contained a seismograph that printed out the movements it detected of the surrounding grounds. This is where the visitor center is, and it is our first stop.
Okay, where are we at?
We're in Lassen. How do you say it? Lassen
Volcanic National Park.
Volcanic National Park.
A place we've never been to before. All right, let's go.
Lassen is the result of the effects caused by the Pacific Ring of Fire and resides at the southernmost end of the Cascade Mountains. The Loomises deeded the land, including the lakes, and several other buildings, some scientific equipment, to the national park in 1929. Inside the museum are the famous pictures taken by Mr. Loomis, as well as several other artifacts. While inside, we watched the excellent movie showing the recorded history of Lassen Peak and the surrounding volcanoes. In addition, the museum depicts details of the early native inhabitants to this region.
Several weeks after the first blast, Benjamin Franklin Loomis, a local businessman, captured an eruption in a historic series of photographs.
The quality and clarity of the photos captured are quite amazing, even more so when one considers the equipment and technology in use then. California offered a rich environment for early native populations, and there were numerous tribes flourishing in the area due to the region's natural abundance. The area of Lassen saw the Yahi, Maidu, and Atsugewi populations. The Natural Park movie touches upon the lives and beliefs of the Maidu. Should you visit here, we strongly recommend taking the 15 minutes to watch the entire movie.
A source of life, a symbol of the Earth's inner power. They called the volcano Cone Yamani, or Snow Mountain.
With western expansion came destruction of the native populations. Within the museum are artifacts of Ishi, a sad story of the last of the Yahi tribe. The man never gave his actual name, holding onto native traditions, and was given the name Ishi, which means a man in his native language. Departing the museum, we head out to hike around Manzanita Lake. While the lake is incredibly beautiful, the tranquility is what is most noticeable. The peacefulness here is transformative. John Muir could not have been more prophetic when he proclaimed, "In every walk in nature, one receives more than he seeks."
Wonder where that guy took his picture from. Like the landscape changed. Here's a purple butterfly.
I think we just saw a mink.
Where you going? Where you going, buddy? I'll be bringing my nuts with me from now on. Look at it.
God, they're fast.
This place has had some bad fires. while the area around the lakes has largely escaped the park's fires. Nearly 50% of the park has seen forest fires. Thankfully, that hasn't happened where we are. In the areas where fires do occur, you must be careful hiking there, as the dead trees become home to birds and insects and are weakened over time, allowing them to easily be toppled over by the wind.
Go ahead, do it, mister. There you go.
We complete our walk around Manzanita Lake and head over to its sister, Reflection Lake, completing the quick walk around it. After comparing my photographs from the two lakes, I believe the best shots are taken across the smaller Reflection Lake. What do you think? Departing the main area of the park around the visitor center and museum, we take the road south to a location known as Devastated Area. It's hard to believe that this location was once completely devoid of life after the major eruption in 1915. The person you see here is spreading out his gear to dry after hiking to the peak and skiing down. Pretty cool. The road is closed due to it still being snow-covered just above here. It was that combination of snow and debris that created the devastation on the eastern side of Lassen Peak. The combination of hot rock and ash hit the heavy snows and created a flood of slurry that crushed everything on this side of the mountain. Along the interpretive trail here are signs telling the story of that destruction. Boulders as large as 20 tons and the size of cars were ejected from the blast and tossed many miles away. Some of them are found along the trail.
The May 1915 eruption. Nearby residents were awed by nature's force that transported the boulders to new resting spots.
The Crags Trail is a moderate trail covering just under 4 miles out and back, and gains about 900 feet of elevation. This is found at its peak of 6,700 feet when overlooking the Alpine Lake below. The lake itself is fed by snow and can disappear entirely by summer's end. On this day, the weather starts out sunny and warm. However, mountain weather can change rapidly, and that happens to us on this hike in a very big way.
How was it? Oh, beautiful. Worth it.
This park has seen substantial forest fires in recent times. In fact, the national park reports that up to 50% of the park has burned. As we progress through this hike, we see large burn areas. The national park leaves the dead trees in place as they are transformed into homes for birds and small creatures as they return to this location. As we continue along the hike, we see slightly older fire locations where the new tree shoots are seen everywhere. Life returns. We are nearing the end of this trail, a final rise, and we'll be looking down into the Alpine Lake.
Made it. Almost. There's the rain.
At the end of the trail is a set of lava domes, known as Chaos Crags. They're the youngest of a group of lava domes in the park, being formed approximately 1,000 years ago. At the base of the domes is the Alpine Lake.
And a storm on the horizon. Got a storm out there, although it looks like it's going away from us.
Nope, that storm is moving fast, and we can see it slamming the hills as it races towards us. We are hauling now and trying to get out as fast as we can before it reaches us.
She is buzzing down a trail, trying to get out of this storm.
We don't get very far before the storm reaches us. The temperature has now dropped significantly, and we are feeling the initial impacts of the storm hitting us. That is popcorn-sized chunks of hail slamming into us.
Hello. Whoa, that one would have hurt. Ouch. Hail everywhere. How much longer do we have to hike? About a mile.
We look for tree canopy to shelter under, but the trees just don't provide enough coverage. With more than a mile of trail left ahead of us, and hail beginning to cover it up, we decided to just race down the hill. By the time we get to the end, it is pouring down freezing rain, and I'm sopping wet and cold to the bone. Thank goodness I've left a coat in the truck, which I immediately strip off my wet shirt and change into.
Oh my God, we were running through this stuff. It was the size of mothballs at the top.
Oh, I know. I saw some.
That's snow. Wow. It was warm. I had on short sleeves.
It's 38. It dropped 20 degrees.
When? How in the world?
The drive home is crazy. At the foot of the hill, it is raining and foggy. Within a mile or so after departing, it begins to snow. Shortly thereafter, it clears up and is dry. Crazy.
From the snow. This is a 14-mile trip from leaving, right?
14 minutes. It's like 11 miles.
14. No, I thought it was 14 miles. I thought I saw something about 14, but anyway. Oh, it's to that town, the name of that town, which is really our place.
Day 3, and we're taking a hike outside the park. Today, we're going to observe splatter cones.
Was my marriage.
No, which volcano around here did it come from?
You're going to come across the splatter cone, and that's where you said it came from.
And to the heart of the rock was broken into 6-sided columns. This is called columnar jointing. Now the tops of the
This trail is maintained by the National Forest Service, and at the trailhead is a pamphlet that provides information about the numbered stops along the trail. Most of the information details the lava runs and cinder cones present throughout the area.
Back cave. I'm waiting for Batman and Robin to come out.
It's hard to see, but this tree has been blown up by lightning. The top is missing, and the lightning bolt has run all the way down the length of the tree, all the way down to the ground. You can see this in a black streak. We truly appreciate that you have taken the time to watch our video. If you have questions or wish to share your experiences with this park, we welcome your comments. If you like the video, please hit like, and we greatly appreciate if you would subscribe to our channel. Thank you again, and have a great day.